So this one's gonna be about random, random ideas about life. And as you might notice, the audio quality should be a little bit better. At least there should be not as much echo as I'm normally having. The reason for that is that I'm actually having, which might sound a little bit weird, but all around my desk, basically, there is things. Normally I do just actually notice when I've tidied up everything, when everything is actually clean, then I do just have a pretty massive echo in my room, because there's actually not quite much. There's my closet there, then I'm having a bed right here, and then I do just have some drawer there and some bedside table. Do you call it, or night bedside table? Never mind. You know what I mean, I guess. And there's a window and this thing, the radiator, I guess, and some dustbin and whatsoever. And there's just nothing else. There's nothing else. And it is quite, a relatively big room. I think the bed itself actually does a pretty great job because it is actually pretty new. But yeah, I'm having just, I don't know if you can see that, but there are just clothes everywhere, which I've seen in a video of another YouTuber. He's actually having pillows all over his fucking desk, even on his mouse and whatsoever, which just seems to be just pretty fucked up, especially when you're a gaming YouTuber. But I guess it actually makes a difference. I've did some sound check. I'm going to do it afterwards, I guess, again, to actually see just really clearly whether it just makes a difference or not. But I really think it does, because normally I actually notice, okay, things actually bounce off of the things that I'm having around me. And yeah, I might just buy myself some pillows as well, But I really think that there is a difference, But yeah, this should not be the topic from this video, but as you've heard in the intro already, we are going ahead with another James Clear article. Actually, I thought about choosing another book summary, but I kind of want to make my mind up a little bit more, not just 15 seconds or something. I just want to think about it because I'm just really investing a lot of time into these things, and I do not want to go through something that is not valuable for you nor for me. So yeah, but still I think it's going to be just another one from the alanchang.com website because they're so fucking amazing. It's just really insane. It is really amazing. But yeah, I hope, by the way, that I'm not too loud because I see that I might be a little loud. Yeah, nevertheless, anyways, we are going ahead with the article. So, random ideas about life. So this is again from James Clear and in the life lessons section. By the way, it's pretty nice to have some pillow there, for my mouse pad. Actually pretty nice because something that you can totally notice if you're only working, at least it is the case for me, if I'm only working with the mouse pad, I tend to just get, pretty fucked up wrists. And it is not nice to just have some infection there or actually inflammation there. It is really not nice. It hurts a lot. You can't do anything. And especially you can't do those things that you actually have to do, like, the actual work like I'm doing right here. Even though, I could just use a mouse. No, I can't. Well, yeah, because I only have 2 USB ports. One of them is for my hard drive and one of them is actually for the phone. So therefore, it is what it is. But I really noticed that there's no, when I'm just talking like this, then you can totally hear, I guess, at least, that there's just some echo just behind me somehow. But there's just quite nothing in front of me, which is good. I do just have another jacket there. Could also use it. But yeah, I think it is okay like this. So in the grand scheme of things, I have little to nothing figured out. But just in case I've stumbled on something that could help you, here are a few ideas about living well, doing good, and making life better. Which is always amazing because people totally notice different things. I might notice something that you don't notice, and you might notice something that I haven't noticed before, which is amazing. And, which is, I think, also one of the reasons why maybe everybody should just start their own. If I click there, will it switch? No, it won't. Thank you very much. Because I can make it a little bit brighter here. At least I think I can. Does this make a difference? Well, maybe even, yeah, never mind. So, yeah, it is the case. We all notice different things, which is good at my point of view because we all can share it, and this is the point that I was willing to make. Why don't you have your own blog? Why don't you have your own Instagram page? Why don't you have those things? Because you can just share what you're thinking about, you can share what you're just talking about, you can share quite everything that you're interested in, and it is amazing because other people can also contribute off of it or from it. I just always don't know how to say that. Yeah, anyway, we can share things, and it is just amazing because other people just can get something out of it, which is good, which is amazing, which is phenomenal. Never mind, I think this word doesn't exist even. Yeah. So if you want to change your life, then change your identity. All behavior is belief driven. From Jim Quick with a K. Kwik. I don't know this guy, but I don't know if the saying is actually somehow true. Well, because I kind of feel like your identity is something that's just pretty deep inside of you. And it just, pretty much seems, or it is you actually. I don't actually know what identity is. Let's see what they are saying. The fact of being who or what a person or thing is. He knows the identity of the bombers. The fact of being who or what a person or thing is. Well, yeah. So the type of person that you believe that you are and the type of things that you believe you are capable of. In other words, your identity is what determines the action you perform. And as he says, your identity is actually, who you think you are, what you think you're capable of, and all those things. So basically the whole mindset, I want to say shit because it's actually like, for example, the book Think and Grow Rich. I do not want to say that it is a bad book or that it is just, a bad book. But I don't know. I think it's really complicated and it's just really kind of, no, wrong one. It is really kind of, okay. Can you really say that, only if you think about just getting rich, are you going to be rich? Well, I don't know. I've read the book halfway through, actually, and then I thought, okay, I do just want to read something else because, first of all, the writing style was totally something that fucked with me because, it is just in a pretty old style. It's just not really modern. It's just, the old kind of, way of speaking English. And this was something that really fucked with me because, especially in German as well, even though there are just way different sentence structures and there's just completely everything different, at least it seems to be the case for me, in German it also fucks with me. So it's not only the case for, or in English actually, but it was just really one of the things that's, it wasn't so enjoyable as it could have been, if you just have to think 3 times because I already have to think twice because it's another language. And then I do have to think 3 times about what I'm actually reading there. But yeah, this is not what I actually want to say. But, I think only thinking about the things that you're just willing to be or the person you're willing to be or you're willing to get and whatsoever, it is good. I do not want to say that mindset is not important. It is very, very, very fucking important, you can execute and whatsoever, but if you don't have the right, mindset, you're not going to achieve the thing, just period. But on the other hand, it is also the same thing as, okay, you just can have the greatest mindset fucking ever, but if you don't execute and if you don't do shit, then you won't just get to anything. Because you do just have to do something. And this is just what, bothered me a little bit about this book, because it was all about, thinking, and you do just only have to think. At least, this is how I kind of just interpreted it, or how I've just experienced it as well. Maybe just the other half of the book was completely different, and he was talking okay, you do just actually have to do something to get to something. Could be the case, I don't know. Would be nice. So if it is the case, or if you've just experienced it in a different way, in another way, let me know. Please let me know. It is always great to just have other opinions and to just see how people are thinking about various things. I guess this could just be very, very, very important. So the limitation in your life are framed by the box of your mind. If you want a new life, then start building a new identity. Start small, prove your new identity to yourself in 1,000 tiny ways. Soon it will become real in 1,000 big ways. It will become real in 1,000 big ways. So further reading, identity-based habits, how to actually stick to your goals. The next thing is, it is your responsibility to pick the direction for your life, which is actually the case. Blaming somebody else and be like, okay, I was just, made to do this or I was made to do this? Somebody just wanted me to do something, but I didn't want to do it and whatsoever. Well, yeah, I do think there's just often with people, they kind of just, my parents want me to do this, but I actually want to do this. And there's just some contradiction, some war, a little overdone, I guess, but, there's just it's not fraction is something this different, but, when you just have two objects and you kind of just press them against each other and then move them, there's just, this word which describes this certain thing, this certain movement, this certain action. This is what I mean at the time. But yeah, so a lot of smart people waste years thinking, if I just work hard, then things will work out for me. Maybe and or maybe not. It is your job to decide the direction for your life. The world is filled with good people who want good things for you, but they are busy with their own lives. It is not their job to find opportunities for you. They won't help you unless you can tap them on the shoulder and say, I would like to get here. Do you know how? Purpose is everything. If you know where you want to go in life, then people will either help you to get there, or get out of the way. Both of those are useful. Actually is, but I think this just really plays again into the whole kind of mindset or kind of thinking that you actually have to do something. I often see people thinking like and acting like, okay, I want to be this in the future, I want to be that in the future, I want to make this in the future and whatsoever. It is quite often about the future, and something that I've actually read is that when we are talking about the future or when we are thinking about the future, we actually seem to be, pretty much, way more fucking optimistic than we actually are in the present, and I think it makes sense. I've then just, thought about it and just tried to kind of just see if this is actually true, which I'm actually always doing. I'm always thinking about certain scenarios, thinking about myself as well, thinking like, okay, what do I want to achieve? What do I want to get to, or where do I want to get to? Because, I do think it is true. I do think it is actually the case that people are more optimistic when it is about the future, than when it's about just the present. But the case is often that, people think like, okay, I want to do this in the future, but the thing actually is that they could just do it right now as well, especially in just nowadays world, in nowadays generation, nowadays time, we all have just so many abilities and we all have just so many options and opportunities. It is fucking amazing, it is really fucking amazing. Only just through the internet, and all these other technical advantages that we have over just past generations, it just really got insane, If you want to rap, if you want to be a rapper, you can start today. You have a phone, probably. You just have, you do not actually need to have something else than a phone, I guess. There must be some app where you can just, record some sounds or record some vocals and whatsoever, and then just, have a beat beneath it or above it, depends on how you think about it, and just, kind of mixing it and whatsoever. I think there are totally some apps. Of course, in the beginning, it's going to be just total bullshit. It has actually been the case for me as well. The first videos that I've done are way not as entertaining and way not as good as they are right now. Because I do just have now 1 year of experience, even though it is just, not enough. It is definitely not a lot and not enough, I guess. It is something, I do feel a little bit more confident just actually being here, speaking another language, doing what I'm doing right here. It just, really comes with time. It really comes with, practicing it, the experience and whatsoever. And I do think if people would actually start today, if people would actually start earlier, they would just gain so much experience and they would just practice so fucking much that it would be just amazing for their macro. If you just start rapping today because you want to be a rapper in just 20 years, you're going to be just pretty good in 20 years, I guess. If you just practice every single day, and if you're just really serious about it, and you're doing it every single day for fucking 20 years, of course you're going to be good, or just at least better than you were 20 years ago, which is, I think, often a little bit sad. People just, want to do something in the future, even though they could just do it right now as well. But yeah. So please do. Just please do it. So the further reading would be the number one regret from the lives of lives of dying hospital patients and how to avoid it. I think it actually was, because I've actually gone through this article, it was just a really amazing article, and you can find the episode somewhere as well. It was not living the life that you just wanted to live, or just not doing what you wanted to do. But it was definitely, let's actually see. Let's actually see, because I don't, I wish I had the courage. I wish I'd had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. Which is actually the number one regret. I'm sorry. Which is amazing. Like, if it's just, it's not amazing, but it is insane. It's just really fucked up. It really is. So the next one is focus on average speed and not maximum speed. I don't think so, but I'll see. So inspiration is for amateurs. The rest of us just show up and get to work. From Chuck Close. Most people only work hard every now and then. You can blow past them simply by showing up every fucking singular day. While everyone else is waiting to get inspired and motivated, you get to work. It doesn't take a monumental effort to achieve incredible results, just a consistent one. Professionals set a schedule for their work, amateurs work when it's convenient. The further reading would be, what is your average speed and the difference between professionals and amateurs? I totally think that this is true. And I really do not like just when people say to me actually things, but I just, I'm not mad at them. I understand this kind of thinking. I understand why people say that. They are like, okay, you do not have to upload every single day. Most YouTubers don't. You don't have to post 8 posts a day. Most influencers don't. You don't have to upload 2 podcasts a day. You don't have to podcast. Nearly nobody does. Well, yeah, they for sure just do, I think it's called power brick, this kind of thing, which is just really gross because there's just some apple on it, because I've had an apple in my lunchbox actually, and it was so warm that this apple actually kind of got to some sort of a fluid, or actually some fluid kind of came out of the apple, and everything then was in my school bag and also on my fucking power brick. Not that nice. It's a little bit gross. It just, smells not that good, but it's extremely hot. I think I could actually cook an egg on it. I think I actually could, yeah. Maybe I'll try it out once. And I'm like, okay, I'm still gonna do it. Because I am not like everyone. I am going to show up. I am going to do the work. I am going to do the work even though I do not want to. I'm gonna do it even though, I totally notice when I do not want to make an episode, when I do not want to record one, they clearly are not going to be as good as if I'm just really fucking pumped to do them. Like now, now I'm just really, really into recording the episode, even though before I was like, nah, I actually do not quite want to, at least not as much as, some other times, But yeah, just show up, just make it a consistent effort, just do shit. And don't wait, don't just waste time. Just do the shit you have to do. Just work on the shit you have to work on. This is what I think. This is what I think. Give yourself permission. You don't need permission to make yourself better. The typical standard doesn't have to be your standard. You don't need permission to love someone or something. If you love them, you love them. And if you love it, you love it. You don't need permission to create something you are excited about, to quit your job and travel the world, to pursue a dream, to give up on a dream, or to do just about anything. If you want to do it, do it. You don't need to be tapped, appointed, chosen, or nominated to live a good life. You don't need to be selected for greatness. Just start living it. I do believe that for some people it might not be the case because they have kids, they have a spouse or spouses. Is it spouses, or would it then be just multiple? Well, you might have a significant other in your life, and then you do just have to just make compromises, I guess, and make decisions that also they like, I guess, especially when you're having kids. But I get what he's just talking about. If you want to do something, just fucking do it. Especially if you fucking can, just do it, because it is your life, I guess. For sure, sometimes, okay, if you're just a pretty young person, it might not be the best and the most glorious idea to, do something, especially when your parents are like, okay, please do not do it. Often, it is complete bullshit that they're saying. Like, okay, you shouldn't do it, this is just a waste of time, which is actually the case for me as well. My mother told me, okay, it is a fucking waste of time. She didn't say it like that, but she said, like, it is a waste of time to, it is a waste of time to just sit there 2 hours of, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours a day sitting here just doing my shit. And I don't think so. I think like it's just one of the best things that I've ever started in my fucking entire life, because I've learned so many things. I went through so many fucking articles that I wouldn't have went through if I wasn't doing these videos, or if I wasn't doing these videos, because I wouldn't just take myself the time. I would just do completely something different. I would just, probably sit here, just watch YouTube all day long, do something that just, doesn't matter, do something that I'm not, that has no purpose. And I think I've also gotten happier through what I'm doing right here, because I'm actually doing something that makes sense. I'm actually doing something that has a purpose. I'm actually doing something that, it's just, it just has some sort of sense for me. And it creates some sense for me in my life, which is amazing, which is really amazing. Wow, it is actually a pretty long one, and I think we won't be able to finish this one. Should I actually stop here? Give yourself permission. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 are left. And how many have we gone through? 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's actually quite halfway through. I could just now actually end the episode or talk about some bullshit that I'm thinking about. And I think I'm rather doing the other thing. Or I could actually make one long episode for today, because I do not have. Do I have a lot of time today? No, I do not have a lot of time today, which is the problem, because, but I want to do just 2 episodes, even though it might just be because of the number. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna do 2 episodes, even though I could really just all the day, every day I could actually do just one long episode, 1 hour long episode. But I think I do just like to have big numbers, I guess. Even though it's just so fucking stupid and it doesn't make any fucking sense. I do just want to see, like, okay, I think either today or tomorrow I'm going to have 400 uploads on YouTube, which is something. And I still just do have 1 video left that I'm just having, that I just have laying around somewhere here, that I do just actually also have to upload once. I do just have to render it It is just some sort of animation that I actually did in school, but with the purpose of uploading it afterwards. I just actually got, well, the thing there was, I'm gonna talk about this, yeah. I'm gonna talk about this. The thing was, it is just, we learned After Effects in school. And well, it was actually these hours that we just learned it in. And, we got the appointment, or we got the task to actually just, the final task was creating an animation, which was, I think, 30 seconds. I think it was 30 seconds long, or it should be 30 seconds long. I did 1 hour and 20, not 1 hour and 20, 1 minute and 20 seconds. It is not long, but for an animation, it is somehow long, because there's, you can just do so much in these 1.2 minutes. The thing was, like, I'm really gonna get pissed now, I guess. The thing was, I just made the fucking thing longer. The task was, okay, or the briefing was or something, just make a video. It should be some lyric video. There should be some lyrics in the fucking video. Most people actually did it like, okay, I'm gonna just take some music, not a music video, but some music, and then I'm gonna take the lyrics from the video and animate it to the video itself. I did do something different, maybe because I always just do something different. I don't know why, but also just because I wanted to upload it then. And if I'm just uploading something with music, could also just be working. I'm still just doing something, in terms of the copyright thing. I might just still gonna get fucked. But the thing was, you should do it for 30 seconds. It should be a lyrics video. I did it 1 minute and 20. I 1 minute and 20. Then I also didn't do a lyric video. I did just do something different, which was also in terms of lyrics, because I used inspirational quotes that I just used to animate and to just play around with and whatsoever. Then I used fucking particles. Then I used just so many fucking different effects. And I think in the end, the video got just pretty great, And, I did just, add other effects and then other layers and whatsoever. So I really did a good job, to be honest. To be honest with myself, it really was some good work. The final mark that I got was an A to B. So it's something in between A and B. And the reason for it was, it is too long and too well, how do I say it? It was not too long, but it was maybe too long in terms of too boring in terms of it being too long. When you're just listening to something and you feel like, okay, there just has to come something and there just has to be something, and because it is so long of a time where you do just think like, okay, well, it is just this kind of feeling that we're having, and I got pissed, because I did more than I just would have to do. Not because I just wanted to get a better mark. This was not my intent. I just wanted to make a cool fucking video. Something that I can see there, and something that most students, I guess, see there, is that marks are just totally something subjective, at least in my school system. It's just totally something subjective, especially when it's about design, and it's about just doing something. Of course, there are some things you do just have to do, and some things that just have to be there, like, okay, a logo font not being just too kind of slim, because if you just print it on a very small kind of piece of paper or something, or as a letter paper, then you wouldn't be able to see it. So therefore, don't use fucking slim fucking fonts for logos. But there was not something like this, just saying like, okay, it was boring. Well, okay, it is something subjective, and I understand that I got a worse mark, even though just complaining about this is stupid. A worse mark for that. I do just still think that I just did one of the best videos in my class. I found it was great, and it is also aesthetic. I'm gonna upload it. I do just really have to upload it. I'm always thinking about it and then I'm forgetting about it and then I'm just like, okay, and then I just remind myself on it again. And but most of the time, am I too lazy? Yeah, I don't think that I'm lazy, but I'm just not doing it. So yeah, marks are just something totally subjective, and still there you also just really, really have to be honest with yourself and think whether the criticism of this particular teacher is actually worth, first of all, complaining about, and second of all, just taking. If it's good critics or if it's bad critics or feedback, actually. Is this teacher actually competent? Is this teacher actually able to do something on their own that is great, that you admire, that you would say, okay, this is amazing? And if they're then able to do so, well, yeah, then decide whether the criticism or feedback you got just actually, makes sense, and or if the criticism you got, if you want to take it, if it is something that you're just going to take for yourself, that you're going to work on then, or not, because actually thinking about the jockey rather than the horse, which means the person who said the feedback or told you the feedback and the feedback itself, well, yeah, if somebody that is overweight, bad example, by the way, I'm gonna tell you afterwards. If there's someone that is overweight and he or she is going to tell you how to lose weight and whatsoever, well, of course you're gonna think like, okay, no, I'm not gonna take this feedback. I'm not gonna take this information, because you can see, well, they didn't do it themselves. Even though there is actually some overweight woman that is actually a personal trainer, if I remember. The thing is, you don't always have to be just in the space to be the best in the space. It is something you can totally see at or by whatever boxing coaches or boxing trainers. A lot of them haven't actually never ever boxed before, or were in a ring or something, but they're just still pretty fucking good coaches. Yeah, it is what it is. But still, yeah, think about jockey and not the horse, and this is gonna be the end of the video. Fuck. I think I just clicked the intro. I didn't want to do this. It's just lagging a little bit always when... fuck you. There was some lag, I guess. I'm really sorry. Outro. No? Outro. Thank you. So yeah, this is it with the episode. I do hope that you have enjoyed it, and I also hope that you're going to remind yourself on how you're going to be remembered. So basically, your legacy, because you have it totally in your hands, and you choose how you're going to be remembered. Even though you can't serve everyone and you can't make everyone like you, it is just what it is, just because. But yeah, see you and thank you very much.